Billy said, you know, Brother Crump, I get excited when I see you on the news because I know that no matter what the case is, and I don't know if you remember you told me this, Billy, I've taken it now. And I always give you credit, but it's part of my repertoire. Doni Glover Show, I'm civil rights attorney Ben Crump, and I'm so honored to be here with my great mentor, Billy Murphy, watching the news before the news with the one and only Doni Glover.
Welcome to the Doni Glover Show. We're here at the Valley Inn in Timonium. We have with us the one and only former State Senator Jill P. Carter. How are you, ma'am?
I'm great. How are you, Donnie?
Good. What's the significance of tonight's event?
Tonight is significant because we're here for Delegate, hopefully soon to be Senator Malcolm P. Ruff, to hopefully carry on the legacy of former Senator Jill P. Carter. The 41st Legislative District is the largest majority black voting district in the city, and I believe in Maryland. And we're here for a big fundraiser. The Trial Lawyers Association of Justice are coming out to host and support a fundraiser for Malcolm Ruff.
I gotta ask you, now Baltimore has a long history of civil rights attorneys, important people. Your dad. I'm thinking of the Mitchell family. I'm thinking of Clarence Mitchell Jr. suing the University of Maryland. Where are our black lawyers today when it comes to civil rights?
I think they're there. I mean, we're in different times, of course, and I think that it's more likely that you're going to have organizations like the NAACP, the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights, and groups like that are most likely to take the lead. You're going to find less like individual lawyers, like, frankly, former lawyer and judge Kenneth LaVon Johnson, who took on the Baltimore Fire Department and Baltimore Police Department to allow blacks and women in there. It's harder. I think it's harder now.
One of my favorite lawyers in Baltimore history, besides you, besides Billy, is George McMecken. Now, he's the guy who sued J. Barry Mahul, who was the mayor in 1910, about the whole segregation thing. What is the battle today for lawyers, for black lawyers?
Survival, unfortunately, but I don't want to just get into that. You know, you raised a really important point about the times that we're in and where are the lawyers taking on these challenges with the president, the rogue president, you know, doing whatever he wants, and with the Supreme Court that we have. I believe that we need to step up more than we have as black lawyers in particular. I really believe that. I'm in a little bit of a different situation, though. You know, the governor appointed me to the Board of Contract Appeals, which is executive judicial, and so I don't have all that freedom and flexibility anymore to fully practice, but I'm happy to join in and support any efforts that are out there.
Tell me about Malcolm Ruff. We need a fighter. There's a 41st district race, as you well know. You have the indicted Senator Dahlia Tarr, and Malcolm's taking a leap of faith, going up in a weight class. He can't get too comfortable and think he's won now that she has some troubles. But tell me about Malcolm Ruff. What makes him an ideal state Senate candidate for the 41st?
Well, you know, Malcolm Ruff is actually my choice, aside from the fact that he's the best candidate and has chosen to run. But he's my choice because we need legal minds and lawyers in the Senate of Maryland, black lawyers. In addition to that, we need more public servants and servants of the people as opposed to politicians. Politicians are worried about their next election or how something is going to play with the establishment. Public servants are worried about how does this affect the people that I represent. And we don't have enough of that in the Maryland General Assembly.
So let me give you your props now. You were in Annapolis, 12?
20 years.
Oh, my God.
14 in the House of Delegates, 6 in the Senate.
And you did a lot of fighting down there. Sometimes it may have seemed like you were by yourself. Any advice for the incoming state senator?
One, Malcolm Ruff has a fantastic personality and fantastic character. And it's always, anything in life is going to be harder for people of integrity and principles than it is for everybody else. But he has enough of that and enough intelligence and savoir-faire where he's going to be able to negotiate Annapolis, I think, better. And frankly, he's growing every day and evolving in political maturity. I've seen it in the last year, so I think he's going to be fantastic.
Let me thank you right here on camera for your work. Thank you for being a fighter. Thank you for carrying forth the legacy. Thank you for not being scared of anybody in Annapolis, Democrat, Republican, black or white, Montgomery County or Baltimore City. Thank you for being who you are.
I appreciate that, and thank you. Oh, you've come a long way, and I haven't talked to you in person since to congratulate you on your recent degree, and I understand you're a professor now.
Not quite. I'm working on a doctorate. But thank you for fighting, because very few people are willing to fight. And you took on monsters.
I didn't have a choice, so it's nice.
You could have laid down and said no.
I don't have it in my body, in my blood. You know what I mean? My dad died for our people. That meant everything to me. I 100% believe I was born to carry on the work that he was not able to do.
We love you, Joe P. Carter. Keep watching the Donnie Glover Show. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Jill P. Carter, and this is the News Before the News with Donnie Glover.
Donnie Glover Show, BMORENews. BMORENews.
From Create
Baltimore.
Create Baltimore.
Yes, absolutely. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
What have you been up to?
I have, as you know, I changed the name. We rebranded the Baltimore City's Arts Council, and we're just coming off of that successful rebrand because we decided that you can live in Baltimore, you can visit Baltimore, and the arts and culture here is top tier. You can create Baltimore.
I'm going to ask you about Malcolm Ruff, but I got to ask you, why do you care?
So, I mean, born and bred in Baltimore City, right? And so I just think that as so a city goes, so its culture goes. So we need to think about cultural reinvestment. We need to think about why culture matters as infrastructure, and the happier that people are through arts and culture, the things that we can provide, both as an economic driver and for quality of life and for public safety. Like, you can't go wrong caring about arts and culture.
New Baltimore. Have you been hearing? I've been hashtagging New Baltimore all over the place to capture this renaissance.
We're absolutely in a renaissance. When I look around, I think about the things, even in my small sphere of arts and culture and the things that we're doing. Visitorship is up at almost every cultural institution in the city right now, right? And that's because people are saying, I want to come back into the city, I want to reinvest into the city, I am unafraid of what external people are saying about my city. And at the same time, we have a mayor who right now is leveling the playing field as far as equity, and a governor who's supporting the city. And that has not happened in a while. We got to take advantage.
That's what I see. We got a black governor who's he's not apologetically black. You have an unapologetically black mayor. And let's not even forget the architect of this whole gubernatorial thing, the First Lady. Yeah, I went so far as to say that. I mean, she's been in politics going back to the 90s, long before West jumped into this boat.
Absolutely.
What I'm getting to is, in this new Baltimore, I'm also seeing black women leading the way? I see you, Shalonda.
There's Shalonda Stokes, who's running downtown. There's Faith Leach, who is the city's chief administrative officer, right? We have the first black woman city solicitor in Ebony Thompson. We have my dear friend of more than 15 years, Dawn Moore, who is the wife of Westmore, and not just a wife, but a cultural strategist herself. I'm in arts. Like, there are
A cultural strategist yourself.
Yes, there are so many women, black women, who are fueling this movement. And I love that you said that, because we obviously deeply support Governor Moore and Mayor Scott, but Mayor Scott even has a beautiful black wife who has, if you look at him now and you look at him before he married her, a black woman can just change the whole trajectory of you. And so I think that it is imperative that we notice that. I'm fine with those two incredible black men that we have leading. I think they're amazing, right? But thank you for acknowledging the women.
No, thank you, Robin Murphy. Any final thoughts when it gets to Malcolm Ruff?
No, I'm here because I support Malcolm. I'm here because Malcolm speaks the language of this renaissance that's happening in a very intentional way. I love that he is building a very diverse coalition of supporters, and I think that he's got it, and I'm very excited to be here to support him.
We're proud of you, Robin Murphy. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At Fulton Bank, we're personally invested in every community we serve. So sometimes we're big in small ways, like finding a way to get Crystal and Dan a mortgage before the baby arrived. Other times we're small in big ways, like local decision-making and financial coaching that helped Fernando open his own shop. Fulton Bank, a community bank that's big and small in all the right ways.
So we'd like to welcome you to the Donnie Glover Show, the one and only Billy Murphy, the illustrious Ben Crump. What's the significance of being here for Malcolm today?
Well, first of all, the significance is that Ben Crump is here. Let's get that right up front. One of the most wonderful human beings God ever made. I love him.
Can we get a word from Malcolm?
Yeah, you know, my mentor Billy here said it best. We're coming out for Malcolm. I flew all the way in from Barbados to be here because he is a leader that we need. I never forget, Jay Wonder, when Billy first introduced me to Malcolm, he said he's one of the best lawyers, not just young lawyers, best lawyers he got working with him. And that resonated because when Billy Murphy say you good, you good. And I'll say this, I'm going to say it tonight too. The reason why we need him as a leader, Billy told me once, and I've quoted in speeches all across America now, his ears should be burning all the time. Billy said, we got enough educated African Americans, we got enough articulate African Americans right now. He said what we seem to lack today is African Americans with courage to speak truth to power. And that's what we got in Malcolm Ruff. And I thank Billy so much for that, because that reminds me, it's a North Star when I'm going in and you got scared Negroes say, maybe we shouldn't. No. Black people need courageous leaders. That's what Malcolm Ruff is.
Amen.
Jay Wendell, any thoughts on Mr. Crump being here?
I mean, I'm so happy to see Mr. Crump and Billy. I mean, I knew Billy was going to be here. And when I saw his name on the flyer, I was like, damn, they coming in from all over. But one thing that Billy always tells us, man, the only thing that wins fights is fighting. You can't win a fight by not fighting.
Amen.
And so we got Malcolm, who's a fighter. He's going to fight for us. He's going to fight for Baltimore. He's going to fight for the state of Maryland. He's going to fight for the whole United States.
What is wrong with Chuck Schumer?
Who that?
Man, I'm so heartbroken. I mean, why cave? Why cave? I
That was a
mean,
kick in the stomach.
It's so disheartening that they cave all the time. No, Democrats got to get a spine. Other than that, they'll never come back.
Thank you.
I feel like we wasted a whole bunch of time, and people actually bought into having to wait. Things were going to be a little uncomfortable for us over the holidays, and when they caved, it was just a waste of time. So all that suffering, all that waiting that we did, amounted to nothing because we didn't get anything for it. And it's no chance, I don't think we're going to get anything.
And you know what I think they don't realize? And I'm just challenging Billy Murphy now, y'all. They have declared war on us. And they understand the nature of war, that in a war, there are going to be casualties. And they are willing to fight this war for the big picture. Democrats apparently don't understand that you're going to have to sacrifice. I know it was hard on the government shutdown, but you ain't got no power. You ain't got the Senate, you ain't got the House, you ain't got the executive branch. This was your power, and you just relinquished it. Am I right on that, Billy?
On top of the momentum from the vote that came out. I mean, we were winning by a landslide.
And we ought to remove him as majority leader.
It's sad, man.
Yeah, because he doesn't have what it takes.
Mentor, I think that's the one thing I like what Jay wanted to say. Hey, so we can't give Billy enough flowers. I want to be honest about that.
Why?
Because, you know, not only do you have a person who has incredible legal acumen, who's brilliant, but he encourages us to fight the fight. A lot of people who have done what he did, they go sit down and say, I did it, and that kind of thing. No, Billy is right there with us in the fight, showing us how to fight the fight. I'm so happy. We got a landmark case we're working on. I'm so proud to be working on the case, but I'm really proud to be working with Billy. I think this is going to be a historic case. And black people need to see historic victories. We need to see that.
We are proud of you. We are proud of you and you, Shades.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Honored to meet you.
Yes, sir. You've been watching the Donnie Glover Show. Stay tuned.
Donnie Glover Show, BMORENews.
And you're watching the news before the news with Donnie Glover.
This is LaFawn Porter, and you are here watching the news before the news, along with Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated with the infamous Donnie Glover. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Brother Donnie.
He has big paws. Look at this room here. Diverse.
I'm just floored by the support from people all over the city, the state, especially throughout the 41st Legislative District. We're building a coalition that is representative of all the neighborhoods, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, blue, purple, green, and yellow. We're gonna make sure that everybody is under the tent and everybody knows that their voice is being heard in the state legislature in Annapolis. And that's what I guarantee, bold leadership that's going to be unequivocal.
I was wrong. I'm admitting it right here on camera. I was wrong. You were right.
Look, it's not about right or wrong. It's about which way we're going. And the direction we got to go is all the way up. And so it's about being bold at the right time. Bold and courageous steps is the moniker of my #1 mentor, Mr. Billy Murphy Jr. And he always says we got to do all the work all the time. That's exactly what people deserve, especially those who are the most marginalized people in our state. And so I had to be bold, and I'm going to continue to be bold. And I don't take anything for granted. I'm doing this day by day for the next 7 months to prove to the city of Baltimore, and especially to my constituents in the 41st District, that I am the leader that needs to be at the helm of our legislation and at the helm of our delegation to fully represent our entire district.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
what was the likelihood that you would make it out of Park Heights and make it to Duke?
Well, if you bring it down all the way to the statistics about being at the intersection of Cottage and Keyworth Avenue, I think you could do that math.
Very unlikely, but you had a praying mama.
Not just a praying mother, the strongest woman I ever met in my life is my mother, somebody who's deeply rooted in our Afrocentric history, somebody who instilled in me the idea of being a man built for others. And that was only amplified through all my experiences at Gilman, at Duke University, and the University of Baltimore Law School, and then going to be a lawyer and standing in the courtrooms all over this state on behalf of people who have been wronged and on behalf of people who were in trouble and needed somebody to fight for their justice. And I'm just taking that role that I've learned as a litigator and as an advocate to become a legislator for all the people.
I don't think people are hearing me. How far do you live from your childhood home?
Probably about 0.7 miles. I live right on the other side of the train tracks from where I grew up in Lower Park Heights. I went to school in the 41st, both from preschool all the way through high school. So I am entrenched in my neighborhood, in my community. I'm a part of the fabric of Park Heights, but now I've blossomed and developed to be a part of the fabric of the entire 41st District. And I'm tired of people saying that the 41st is just about the Northwest. 41st is North Central, Northwest, and the outer half of West Baltimore, all the way down to Southwest. I don't want anybody to forget about my people in Emerson Village and Beachfield and Yale Heights and Irvington and Violetville. Everyone deserves to be heard.
I'm trying to say something.
Go right ahead.
You live a half mile from your childhood home.
Absolutely.
In a neighborhood that you were unlikely to escape from.
That's absolutely right. But it's
hold.
Go ahead.
But you didn't move to Owens Mills or the Columbia.
Well, why would I? Why would I move
because
out
that's
there?
what happens.
I got it.
That's what happens. We get that, the nice suits, the nice. You could move anywhere. Why'd you stay?
Because, like I said, I'm invested in my community. I want to make sure that all of the children growing up where I grew up have all the possible opportunities that I have. I know that the difference between me and brothers that I grew up with on my same block and around my neighborhood is about as thin as the piece of paper that I used to admit evidence. And the only difference is they didn't know what opportunities were out there. They weren't provided the resources to be able to get out of that circumstance. And luckily enough, I did have all of those privileges. I want to be able to provide that to as many young people coming up behind us, because that's what every single one of our kids in Baltimore City deserves.
Okay, any thoughts on this election? You want to keep the strategy to yourself and share anything with us? You've got to be feeling a little better.
Well, I don't feel better. What I feel is a bit trepidation for my community, right? We have to make sure that there's continuity of leadership. And like I mentioned in my comments when I learned about what happened with our senator, it's concerning, the things that are alleged to have happened. I'm not somebody that's going to skirt around the issue, right? This is serious.
Because if you were caught doing something.
We're not going to talk about what it was if the shoe was on the other foot, because it ain't, and it won't be. But at the end of the day, we don't want to have distractions from the agenda that is necessary for the 41st District. We need to have our voice heard loud and clear from the floor of the House, but more importantly, from the floor of the State Senate.
I'm civil rights attorney Ben Crump, and I'm so honored to be here with my great mentor, Billy Murphy, watching the news before the news with the one and only Doni Glover.
Doni Glover Show, BMORENews. BMORENews.
We'd like to welcome you back to the Doni Glover Show. Listen, we've got one of the most brilliant political strategist beside me, the one and only Chesia Caja. How are you?
I'm good, Ronnie. How are you?
You are one of the most brilliant political strategists out here, right?
You humble me. I'm just happy to be a public servant.
We would be remiss if we didn't put a plug in for Mr. Herb Brown. Let's start with that.
Yes, yes. Thank you, everyone in Baltimore City, for your acknowledgments, for your condolences, for your cards, for your flowers, for my great uncle. He lived to be 101. And what is so amazing that I've been saying is that his impact will outlive him. Decades long of service, decades long of black political power. So thank you everyone so much. We're sending out arrangements today, literally as we speak. We had to find a place that would be big enough so that everyone would be able to come pay their respects. So thank you so much.
Okay, right now, Chesia, we got Ben Crump, you got Billy Murphy, you got Malcolm Ruff. What's this all about? You started this stuff. You told me it was going to happen. You did. The news before the news. Chesia.
So what we have right here with, of course, one of the Murphys, and of course the Ben Crump, and of course my very own kindergarten classmate Malcolm Ruff, is right now tonight is black legal lawyer leadership. And so these are all extreme public servants who do the justice, fight for equality, fight for civil rights, most importantly. And so everyone here tonight has come together. And I want to make a note that this room is very diverse. So everyone here tonight has come together in support of Malcolm and his run for state senate, because we know we need representation for the entire district. And I can say that as being born, raised, and bred and a lifelong resident of the 41st district.
Who else is on this ticket?
Well, you gotta ask Malcolm that.
All right, well, we'll say, any other thoughts?
No, I just want everybody to get out and vote. I know America is in a really interesting time right now. I know voter fatigue is real. We're experiencing some really difficult things. Families are fighting between paying their rent and putting food on the table. But I want to make it clear that you change that with your vote. Your vote has power. And then you have to hold your representatives accountable, all of them, local, states, and federal. So do not have voter fatigue. You have the power to make a difference.
Are we going to get you to run?
Who knows?
The news before the news. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to One World Studios, where culture meets creativity and your vision becomes reality. Powered by the groundbreaking partnership between Frank Johnson Media and Paris D. Rose Productions, One World Studios is a full-service creative agency that delivers bold storytelling, powerful branding, and content creation. One World Studios is the go-to destination for creators, organizations, and brands.
Johnny Glover Show.